Welcome to this guided mindfulness meditation for anxiety produced by the Quiet Mind Lab. If your mind feels chaotic, restless, or anxious, this gentle guided meditation is designed to help you gently step back from the rush of anxious thinking. Let's start by finding a comfortable position, somewhere you're unlikely to be disturbed, either sitting in a chair with your back straight or lying down with your hands resting at your side. With your eyes open, allow your gaze to soften and take a few deep breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And on the next out breath, gently close your eyes and guide your attention toward the physical points of contact between your body and the surface supporting you. Perhaps you notice your feet resting on the floor, or your hands resting in your lap or at your side. Notice your back against the chair or mattress, and just hold your attention on these physical sensations for the next few moments. And now begin to increase that spotlight of awareness to include the room you're practicing in. Perhaps any background noise or subtle movement, or even the temperature of the air against your skin. Holding your attention on these aspects of experience helps us to ground awareness and anchor that awareness in the present moment. And now let's take that one step further by guiding our attention gradually down the body, from the top of the head all the way down to the soles of our feet. Beginning at the head and becoming aware of any pressure or tension or warmth in the forehead and the jaw. We're not trying to fix or adjust anything we find. We're just noticing any physical sensations appearing and disappearing in consciousness. Moving down through the neck and shoulders and into the arms, again becoming aware of any tightness or pressure. Continue guiding your attention down through the chest and stomach, across the pelvis and into the hips and lower back. Again, just becoming aware of any physical sensations you notice. And finally down now into the legs, and coming to rest for the next few moments in the feet and toes. And now let's bring our attention to the raw sensation of the breath. Begin by noticing the rise and fall of your chest or stomach, and the feeling at the tip of your nose with each inhale, and the subtle warmth on your lips with each exhale. Again, we're not trying to fix or force the breath here. If it's shallow, that's fine, and if it's deep, that's fine. We're just allowing the breath to come and go at whatever pace feels most comfortable for you. And just see if you can hold your awareness on the breath from the beginning of the next inhale to the very end of the exhale. And if at any point you notice you've become lost in thought, just notice that too, and gently guide your attention back to the raw sensation of the breath. Feelings of anxiety or worry may arise, and that's fine. Just label them as thinking, without judgment or frustration, and then gently return to the breath. And if those anxious thoughts or feelings are especially vivid, or you're finding it difficult to cope, it can often help to remind yourself that this awareness of a thought is separate from thought itself. You're not your thoughts, and they don't define you. These thoughts and feelings are simply passing mental events, just like clouds drifting across an open sky. And if it helps you to hold your attention on the breath, we can begin to label each inhale and exhale silently in the mind. Perhaps you can visualize the word in each time you take a breath, and the word out each time you release the breath. And again, if thoughts or feelings draw your attention away from the breath, just recognize that you've become lost in thought without judgment, and return your awareness to the breath. Just practice that here with me for the next few moments. And now we're going to use a simple visualization technique, not to make anxiety disappear, but just to simply help us relate to the experience of anxiety in a healthier and more constructive way. So if it feels comfortable, I'd like you to imagine that the anxious thoughts you've been noticing have a sense of forward momentum to them. The image doesn't have to be dramatic or vivid in detail, just that sense of being pulled ahead, as if the mind is constantly leaning into the next moment. And instead of trying to stop that movement, just imagine gently stepping back from it. Not away from the situation, but just back into a position in which you're no longer forced up against it. It can help to imagine yourself standing on the bank of a river, watching the current rushing past you. The river keeps flowing, hurried and chaotic, and you're not blocking it or trying to redirect the force of the water. You're just not standing directly in its path. Thoughts, worries, and the sense of panic can keep moving past, but they don't need to carry you with them. This is so important for anxiety because urgency is what gives anxious thoughts their power. And when experience feels immediate, every thought feels important. And stepping back like this doesn't solve or fix the anxiety, but it can help to change the relationship. You're no longer inside the rush. You're simply aware of it. And if it helps, imagine placing a small but noticeable amount of space between you and the river. Not distance in a dramatic sense, but just enough that you can see the movement without being swept into it. Notice what it's like to stand here, your body supported and your breath steady and relaxed. Thoughts may still arise and the sensations may still be there, but they just don't need your immediate response. And if your mind drifts back into the river, that's fine. Just notice it with a sense of curiosity and gently step back again. This isn't about removing anxiety completely. It's just about recognizing that you can step back at all. Now just take a few moments here and notice the difference between being pulled along by urgency and simply watching it move past on its own. And when those difficult feelings of anxiety, stress, or worry appear, you don't need to become discouraged or lose hope. Just say to yourself quietly in your mind, "This is an anxious thought or feeling," and then just allow it to pass as you rest with the physical sensation of the breath. Coming back each time to the steady rhythm of the in-breath and the out-breath. Again, there's no need to judge the mind or your experience in this moment. Just keep coming back to the body and the breath and this simple awareness. And as we draw this mindfulness practice to a close, just allow this awareness of the breath to fade into the background, allowing your mind to float freely without any particular focus. Any feelings, thoughts, or physical sensations can come and go as you just rest here for the next few moments. And now gradually bring your attention back to the physical points of contact between your body and the space around you. Notice your back against the chair or mattress, or your hands resting in your lap or at your side. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and notice how you feel now. Mindfulness is simply the act of returning to what's happening in the present, instead of being pulled forward into worry about what might happen next. When anxiety flares, it often drags the mind into unhealthy patterns of thought and keeps us stuck trying to solve problems that aren't actually in front of us. And the more the mind lives in that space, the more distant the present moment can feel. Whereas learning to notice anxious thoughts as they arise, without automatically following them or letting them dictate where your attention lingers, is the key to a happier, less distracted mind. Anxiety doesn't need to be argued with or pushed away, just needs to be recognized for what it is. And each time you notice it, without getting swept up, you're gently bringing yourself back to where real change actually happens, in the here and now. Thank you for taking the time to practice with me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.